What's up, y'all? So it's LA Jourdan, aka LA the Goddess. Hello, people. Let's get into it. Alright, so welcome to Hot Talk Radio. I'm finna talk about something real quick, real fast. I want to talk about something that irritates my bones, and I really, really mean it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so you know how nowadays everybody's trying to be so politically correct about everything, and there's nothing wrong with it. This just nice thing to do, right? But here's where it grinds my gears and burns my bones. Okay, so have you ever like been in a store or something like that and you was looking for a manager? And you asked him, you was like, hey, can I see your manager? Who's your manager? Yeah, they're on duty, they're in the store. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, where are they in the store? Well, it's a lady, with a black jacket on. And it'd be like 6 people in there with a black jacket on. And it's like, okay, can you tell me more about her? Like, what does she look like? Well, she's short. Well, she's short. She has glasses. Okay, what? Let me tell you why it pisses me off so bad. Cause it's like nowadays people like I don't really know exactly where we're going as a country, racially, culturally speaking, because it's like everybody wants to be included and accepted, and that's fine. You know, that's a good thing to do. But where it gets confusing is like people are afraid to speak on what people are or what they do or some type of character description is really what I'm saying. Like sometimes people, I don't know. Let me say this. I've had a conversation with people, you know, and they was like, well, you know, I'm not an African American because I'm not from Africa. You know, I want to be considered an American. But it's like, okay. And just that particular conversation right there really, really like, at first, I kind of felt the same way. But then I remember when I was in college, I took this philosophy class. And my professor, she was speaking on Ebonics, right? And she was saying how, you know, I don't know why African Americans or black people think that they don't have a language. You do have a language. We in America, as black African Americans, have our own language. We have our own identity. And it bothers me so much when people say, especially like these big speakers, they'll say something like, black people have lost their identity. They've lost their identity. And it's like, no, we never lost our identity. It's just after the diaspora, we just went into different areas and created new identities, right? Like, I had said something to somebody the other day, and I was like, there's some white people shit that you doing. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, there's some white people shit you doing. Now, I wasn't saying it in a derogatory term, or a derogatory way, but it's like, bro, a lot of white people I know do this. A lot of black people I know do this. A lot of Hispanic people I know do this. A lot of, you know, Indian people I know do this. You know, and what's wrong with just saying, bro, that's some black people shit. That's some white people shit. That's some Indian people shit that you doing right now. And it not be offensive. To me, and this is just something I went through. Like a lot of people got mad at me for how I would say things online. Like I was very blunt, I was very brash, you know, in my words. And I would say things like that. And they thought that, oh, you a mean person, you mean. I'm honestly not mean. It's just like, bro, face who you are. You know what I'm saying? Face who you are. Face who you are as a person, as a people. Me as an African American, like I've been fed this narrative my whole life. And I'm not saying it's not true because there is a lot of truth in it. But just looking at where we're headed today, in today's time, everybody wants to be included and wants to be accepted as one person. But it's like, we're different people. We're not the same. You know, and I fight for inclusion, right? Is it that we're trying to be the same? Or is it that we're embracing our differences? What are we doing right now? You know, like me, I've had like friends of all races, but mostly like outside of my black race, I've had more friends that were probably white or Hispanic, right? I say mostly white, right? And it's like, I just noticed the cultural differences. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with being different. You know, I went to a predominantly white college, right? And just being there, it was like I had this pressure on me You gotta act a certain type of way, you gotta do this a certain type of way. And I know it's a professionalism to everything, right? So it's a format, a routine to everything. I get that. But it was like you were pushing me to become something or someone I wasn't, right? I went to school, I specialized in media newscasting, right? It was really more of my specialty. And so, when you do newscasting, they try to get you to speak in a certain type of dialect because, it's really prestigious, it's nice, it's luxurious, it's professional, it's great. But it's like, dude, this is not who I am. You know what I mean? I just really had a conflict with it personally. It's a personal conflict. But it's a professional thing. It's just a professional thing, right? It's just a routine that we have. You have to talk. Hi, my name is Jourdan, and I'm here with News Channel 19 in Washington, Ohio, or something. You know what I mean? And you have to, and it's a certain way you have to talk, a certain way you have to be, a certain way you have to act, to be accepted. And personally, that conflicted with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, after I left newscasting, I went into this whole period of like decompression, right? And I just really needed to like unwire who I was, where I come from, what I've learned, who I am, just unwire, come undone. You know what I'm saying? And it was during this time period that I was trying to figure out the pieces of myself that I really liked versus what the world was trying to make me become. Like, you know what I'm saying? What about my culture did I disagree with? What about my culture did I agree with? And I think now that we're starting to see, and I'm speaking on my culture, Black people, we're starting to see Black people that do different things outside of the stereotype. You know what I'm saying? So it's really cool. It's really interesting because it's like, oh my gosh, you're a Black person and you're into that. And it's like, oh my gosh, you're a Black person, you're into that. And it's so cool to see, inclusion. But there comes a time when, during this period of inclusion, right, where you have to ask yourself, what is our culture now? What is our culture now? Because so long we've been telling ourselves as African Americans, okay, specifically, we've been telling ourselves that we've lost our culture, we've lost our way, we've lost who we are. But the truth is that throughout time, we all change. Culturally, we change. So did we really lose who we were? Or did we just upgrade and advance? Right? And what's wrong with the culture that we have? Why can't I wear orange and green and red and black hair to work without you questioning if I'm intelligent or not? If I can do the job or not? If I'm fitted for this or not? Right? And even with us accepting ourselves, when do we start demanding that other people accept us for who we are? Inclusion is great, but where is it that I can actually be who I am authentically? A Black African American, right? I think that we forget that it's okay to speak Ebonics because that's who we are. That's our language. That's our language. Whether you realize it or not, Ebonics is our language. My philosophy teacher told me that. She made me really realize, sit down and look at a lot of things differently, with just our short talks. Because we didn't talk as much as we probably should have. I think I could have learned a lot more from her. But when she pointed that out to me, and I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, whoa, that is cool. That is very cool. And even though I know we do it culturally, but when you hear someone say that it's certified, it's like, damn, I'm a certified person. I don't have to be like you to belong because I just belong anyway. you know.